How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the 80% Garage Shop. And today I wanted to post a follow-up video on this Bauer organizer that I had got around Christmas time. There were a lot of comments about this, a lot of questions about it, some really good feedback that people gave, a lot of it centering around how expensive this particular case is. And I spent a little bit of time thinking about the price of this, really kind of what the value proposition for Harbor Freight is, why they want to offer this case, and then I took a look at a few other alternatives. So today, I don't know if you can see it in this shot, but I've got an assortment of cases from the Hart brand, which is TTI, which owns Ryobi, Milwaukee, Rigid, and the Hart brand as well. So I've got a couple of those. I've got some Packout cases over here. I've got an assortment, and then I've got this Bauer. I don't have any DeWalt Tough system. I don't have any of the T-Stack stuff, but this is a pretty good assortment. I do have a Rigid crate that I'll talk about and maybe show some of the latches, but overall, I think this will give us a pretty good idea of what's out there. I've also got one of the Stanley organizers that I use for my universal organizer system across all of my tool chests and toolboxes. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to go through this in 3 or 4 parts for each one of these cases, and we're going to talk about the individual piece parts of them in its entirety, and then we'll go to the next one. So Bauer case, metal latches on the front, metal pin going through the plastic here. Pretty nice latches. I like these. They're very stout. I think they'll last a long time. Side latches. These are where I think the weak point for this is going to be. Fairly thin. I mean, they're in a really nice injection molded housing, but these I think are going to be what break over time. When this takes a tumble out of your truck or out of your van, that is going to break. It's going to snap or it's going to pop out, and you're going to have a problem there. The lids, very stout lid, nice polycarbonate lid, IP rated with this dust shield. One of the things that I do like about this is the bins are removable. I also like the fact that for the most part, this is a rectangle. The Packouts get a little bit funky with the edges and the corners, and if you're like me and you want to build an insert for some tools, sockets, whatever, it is nicer to have a more rectangular, more easy to measure and place in area. So the top obviously interlocks with these. Overall, nice box. In the last video, a lot of comments on how expensive this is versus the competition, and I don't disagree. One thing I do want to show you is a Packout bin versus the Bauer side by side. You can see the Packout is a little bit shorter, a little bit more square, but almost exactly the same. So what that does mean is you could fit a Packout bin in here, but you can't fit a Bauer bin in a Packout. So let's take a quick look at one of the Packout cases. All right, so Packout, probably the one to beat, right? This is probably everybody's favorite. This is the contractor grade. We look at the top, I mean, nice polycarbonate lid, IP rated again. This drops into here, keeps stuff from falling out and moving over. You take a look here, this is really sturdily built. It takes a lot of force to bend that. Latches, one of the things we want to look at, and I actually think this is kind of interesting on the Packout, but these latches are metal and plastic, and then there's a metal cross pin that goes across. Now I know some people will say, hey, they're plastic, those Bauers are metal. I bet you the Bauers are stronger. I don't know that that's the case, because what they're doing here is they are putting multiple lines of defense against breakage here. So they've got the 2 tabs coming down and then the 3 tabs going up. This is a pretty darn stout latch, and if you see, it's meant to be replaced. if this breaks, you can take this whole thing out and you can replace this. I don't know if they'll sell it to you, but you could replace it. Latching mechanism between the cases. I showed you the Bauer. That's probably the weak point. That is probably Milwaukee's strongest point here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of contact on these half-width cases. In this polycarbonate, and then these very deep, nicely molded shoes that fit into here, that gives you so much strength in this lid and then in this base that when this falls over, I doubt that it's going to break. It is going to stand probably the test of time here. You know, you're paying for this. You're paying for the durability that this provides you. Look at the thickness on the plastic. This is an impressive case, but you do pay for it. It is expensive. The latch from an ease of use perspective, pretty easy. I do have a little bit of trouble sometimes when I line these up, but I'm sure if I use these day to day, I would be used to it. Again, one of the things that is really nice about this that I really like is the removable bins. Even in this thinner case, I think this is very important because some days you may want to load up a case differently than another day, and you might switch just a couple of these trays over. This here is kind of what I was talking about, though. Milwaukee gets a little funky with this kind of dog bone shape, and it gets a little bit worse on the full width cases. There's a interesting middle section here. Not 100% sure why they did that. Maybe there's some reason, but it is a little bit annoying when you're trying to make 3D printed inserts for these. So the one that I have not talked about yet, and I had not seen before this, is these Hart stack cases. Now, I at first thought these were significantly smaller than the Packouts, but as you can see, they really are not that much smaller. They're about the same size if you take away kind of the durability of the Packout with the bumpers and things like that. And I'll show you. The one thing I don't like about these is they don't have the removable bins in them. And I think that Hart really is missing an opportunity there. I think those removable bins are extremely, extremely useful to people. So you can see, I thought this was a lot smaller. It's maybe only 3/8 of an inch shorter in depth, and it's about the same width. In fact, I bet you the width here and here is almost the same. So let's take a look. That is, about 8 1/4. And actually, that's about 8 5/8. So a little wider here. Now you do have these protrusions for the dividers, but pretty close to the same size. Let's take a look in a little bit more detail. Hart. So the Hart, again, it is IP rated. There is not as much strength here. A lot of thickness has been lost. You saw on the Milwaukee side by side. I mean, look at that. It's almost 1/8 of an inch, the thickness of some of these. And this is down to maybe a 1/16, maybe a little bit more than that. Obviously, this is not meant to hold up to the abuse that this will, but this is about 1/3 to 1/4 of the price. In fact, I got 2 of these plus the middle case, the middle size case, for $39. And I think just one of these is about that same price. So anyway, the latching system on this Hart, I think, is actually a little bit better than on the Bauer, and maybe even a little bit better than some of the others that are out there on the market. So one of the things that I have always liked about the Packout is these half-width cases. Now, if you have the Bauer latching system that comes in from the side, which I believe is the same on the DeWalt, you can't do these half-width cases. You can't do the half-width toolboxes, because if you're only going in from the outside, there's nothing latching them in the back. I even think that the new Tough system, the latches in the front, they might be able to do it on that, but I haven't seen any of these half width. And like I said, I really like these. All right, so we talked a little bit about the latches on the Packouts and on the Milwaukees. So I wanted to take a quick look at the latches on here. These latches are an interesting mix of plastic and metal. Again, very similar to the Packouts, but what they don't have that the Packouts do is that defense in depth where there's multiple fingers holding in the latch. This is just 2 fingers. It is a metal strip. This is a metal pin. It's a roll pin that goes across, and they are a nice, positively latching latch. They feel good, but they are not as durable as the Milwaukees. The other latches here, like I mentioned about the Bauer, this is probably going to be where folks break these cases. There is a good amount of plastic around them. These feel like pretty tough plastic, but I can almost guarantee that if this fell over, this would cam itself out or pull itself out somehow and snap here. Actually, yeah, this will probably snap here. And then obviously it's not going to attach to the next one. But again, this case, this whole set with this 21-inch tool case and these 2 organizers was $39. This was under 40 bucks. And take a look in here. Plenty of space in there, probably for a drill and driver. I know that they sell some blue boxes that fit in here with some lids that are removable. I don't know where you get those. I'm not sure if you can get them separately, but those do come with the standalone version of this. If you buy it as the 3-pack, you don't get that. Now, one of the things that I was so interested about in this stack storage system is the drawers. So let me show you the drawers. This is a 2-drawer stack system, and this is $43, I believe. And if you think about the Milwaukee drawers, the Packout drawers, I took a look. I was at Home Depot. They had a 3-drawer set for $164. This is $43. Let's take a look at these drawers. So you got 2 drawers, the dividers for the drawers, and just do a quick measurement here. So 14 and 3/16 and 10, about 10 and 3/4. And how deep are they? They are 2 and 3/8 deep about. These drawers obviously not, well, they are pretty sturdy. I can't really twist those too much. You only get 2, but for $43, that's a slick deal. Just for jollies, I thought I might show you what one of these Harbor Freight organizers that I use for the bins that I have standardized around kind of looks like. It's a clone of the Stanleys. Obviously, this is really wimpy, polypropylene. These are removable, which I do very much like. This is, you know, very flexible. The latches are all plastic. You know, these are, I think I paid $5 a piece for these. Now, I think the Harts are double that price, but I would definitely say that they are doubly as durable as this, and quite a bit larger. Just an interesting note of comparison, so that's what I wanted to show this here. When you're getting into a system, one of the things that you want to have is expandability and diversity in the offerings. I think we all know Milwaukee is growing this system. It is an impressive system. They have more piece parts than probably anybody out there. I don't think even the DeWalt Tough system touches them, because they've got soft-sided tool cases, they've got first aid kits, they've got coolers, they have the narrow cases. I mean, they've got everything. You look at this booklet, which is only a small amount of them, and there's probably, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 different items on here. They've got a configurator on their site. I mean, this is professional grade. You've got a ton of different options. They are continuing to grow it. The same day that I am filming this video, Belts and Boxes just showed that they've got a wall system that they're going to release a la Ryobi Link. Great expandability in this system. The Bauer system, they're saying 50 plus combinations. That's not all that impressive. They've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. One is a crate, one is the thicker organizer, one is this tool chest, a medium tool chest, and then the rolling one. I wonder how much they're going to grow this. I don't foresee this taking off hugely because of the price. I know it's going to go on sale, but it's still a little pricey for something at Harbor Freight. And I love Harbor Freight. I think what they're trying to do with this is awesome. I think it is really good quality for a Harbor Freight tool. If it was 20% less all the time and they stack some 10 or 15% coupons on top of it, this is probably a system I would consider. However, there just aren't as many options. I do use crates from the rigid system. I like those, but there's very little expandability in the rigid system. It only has, I think, 4 parts, so similar to this. So the big game changer in my mind is this Hart stack system. You've got your drawers, you've got this 3-piece pull-out organizer set, you've got the narrow organizers, and then you go into the thicker organizer that's like the Bauer we looked at, and then the Packouts, the bigger tool chest, and then the big rolling tool chest. This has 7 different parts at launch, or available right now. For me, I'm considering it launch because I've just really started seeing these in stores a lot. I know the 3 stack was available at Christmas, maybe before that, but I really like this because it has the half width cases. I don't know why, but in my mind, that's more of the perfect size. So I'm hoping that they grow this. It's made by the same company. Interesting stuff. I like this system. We talked a little bit about the materials and the build quality, the latches, how the lids stack up, the removable bins versus the non-removable bins. We talked a little bit about the diversity of the overall system. Packout obviously is winning that one. Hart has 7. Bauer has 5. There's no crate with Hart. So I think that is something that they're missing, which leads into the topic that I want to talk about. What is everyone missing? One of the things that I think everyone is missing is more universal tool storage inserts. So one of the things that Milwaukee does provide is the foam inserts. And while the foam inserts are nice, they are not necessarily the solution for all of your tools. I think it's a great idea. I think it's fine, but easily Milwaukee, Hart, Keeter, whoever is making these, they can make insertable trays. Think about having in your larger toolbox an insert that has your drill and driver plus a couple of batteries in it. Maybe even the charger stored on top. Then right next to it is your 7 1/4 inch saw with a couple of extra blades. Maybe what you need to do the tool change. Perhaps a grinder. I mean, those 2 items come out and set side by side, and then they go right back in at the end of the day. To me, that is a huge miss on all of the parts. I know they want to get you locked in so that you're on their system, and they'd love you to be carrying around all Milwaukee tools, all Bauer tools, all Hart tools, but make them universal. People will buy that because it's easy to put the tools that they already own into your system. And I'll tell you what, I don't have enough time to make the inserts for these for my tools. I am almost exclusively rigid, And I don't care if it goes in a Hart box or a Milwaukee box or a Bauer box. It doesn't matter what it goes into for me. I want to have the ability to have the organizer put it in very quickly and there. The other thing that I think they need to do for the Hart system and the Bauer system is what Packout has done, and they need to sell replacement parts. You can go on and you can buy a set of bins for all of the Packouts for very, very inexpensively. They're, I think, under $10 for maybe a pack of 5. You've got to provide those replacement parts. We talked about how the latches on the Packout look like they're replaceable. That's important. I really think that if people are going to buy into your system, they've got to be able to get those replacement parts. So that's a miss. Hopefully my overview provided you with some insights on the Packouts, on the Harts, and on the Bauers. And I gotta say, for my money, I think I'm probably gonna go for the Hart. I'm not a contractor. I am not carrying this stuff to job sites all the time. But what I do is I carry it from place to place in my house. And I would rather have more storage and more options than pay extra for the durability and, I guess, the cachet that the Packouts offer. These are wonderful. I really thank my friends for letting me borrow these and check them out and use them. But this system, I am really impressed with. I'm impressed that they've come out with these drawers. I'm impressed that they've come up with a system that provides you the half cases, and the price is unbeatable. Like I said, 2 of these cases here, plus this larger 21-inch tool case, $39. The drawers, $43. Hart, if my channel is large enough for you to watch, I would love to give you some feedback on this, and I would love to test out any new stuff that you have. It's just really, really nice stuff. Let's talk the Bauer. I think the Bauer is really nice stuff, but it's limited. And I don't see Harbor Freight growing this unless there's enough people that buy it. And maybe there will be plenty, but I think they need to get closer to the price of the Hart, even though I think this quality is nearer to the Packout than the Hart. The game for them is just not to Packout level until they've got 50, 60, 70 different items that they're going to be able to sell. I like it, but it's too expensive, and there's not enough variation in their lineup yet. All right, so there you have it, guys. That is my overview and comparison on these 3 systems. It was super nice to have all 3 here to be able to take a look at the quality of each one, look at them side by side, see the sizes right next to each other, and kind of make some comparisons about where I think the weak points are, the strong points are, and then what they're all missing. So if this video was helpful to you, or you just enjoyed listening to me ramble on about tool chests, please give me a like below. And if you really want to stick around and see what else this channel has to offer, hit the subscribe button. As always, I really, really appreciate you watching. And I have been having fun over the last couple months responding to all the comments that people have provided on the videos that over the holidays became a little bigger than I thought they would. So thanks if you're a brand new subscriber for subscribing and providing those comments and providing your feedback. Stick around for the next video. Hope you liked it. Thanks so much. See you next time.